Supercross 2025, Haiden Deegan and Julien Beaumer fined. Heated moment brewed days prior to Seattle race. Both Danger Boy, now Jailbird fashionista, Haiden Deegan and Red Bull KTM Juju Julien Beaumer had eventful evenings at the Seattle race this past weekend, not only battling on the track, but off the track as well, and it was caught live on television for all the world to watch.
I was nice to you. What was that again? What was my address again? Where's my helmet? Look what happened. You didn't put me down, huh? Hey, next time I got you. That's my family. Where's my address? That's my family. Look what happened. Look what happened. Look what happened. Hey, next time I got you. Next time. I was nice. I got it. Let's go. Good job.
What the heck actually happened? Funny no one is finding the timing sus. I mean, he makes his return in jail outfits after the past weekend news of being arrested. Also, damn Thor, they fully support the Deegans. This is clear as they are the ones who are creating, designing, and promoting the bad boy persona with customized gear and attire for him. It's a little cheesy, but whatever, I don't hate it. Julien Beaumer apparently last week shared on Instagram a story that had Haiden Deegan's arrest booking report on it, but it was the version that was showing his actual address. According to Juju himself, he claims that eventually after someone made mention how you might want to take that down because of that, he did remove it. But you know, the internet is forever and people most likely had already screenshotted it. Haiden and Julien have had some spats over the years since they were little. Julien has made it very clear that he is used to Deegan's tactics and it doesn't faze him. This season originally started with a battle and feud brewing among Supercross stars Levi Kitchen and Haiden Deegan, but once Kitchen was transferred over last minute to the opposite coast, Deegs needed a new target, a new focus, and a new feud. His eyes were set on Julien Beaumer, famously known for his other sport passion and skill, a jet ski racing champion. Sadly, Juju had suffered some injuries and slowly has been creeping back up to top spots. Judging by his riding and how things are currently going, he just might be purposefully riding carefully to stay healthy, as he is still not 100% and recovery is really the main focus overall. But then again, look where he is in points now. He's pretty much in the running alongside Deegan, so he doesn't really have any choice but to just stay on the right lane, don't pull anything out of the plan over aggressive or too risky, as he does not want to jeopardize his chances of winning the Supercross Championship title for 250. When asked about his injury, his shoulder, he admitted he is not at full percent, but would say he's about 80%. So he's getting there. He made mention in his Racer X interview that he became frustrated with getting around lappers during the race and got caught up a few times, but was pretty happy with his performance in battle with Garrett Marchbanks. When asked to elaborate, he said,
"He and I are cool, we're clean, we're not going to throw down. We had a clean battle and he ended up getting the better of me in that main event. Then it obviously went a little downhill from there. I didn't execute how I wanted to."
Then some shade was thrown his way with another question.
"There's a lot of talk about the ruts thing, but if you look back, in Arlington I was hurt, and Indy I didn't ride at all for 2 weeks before. And I still got 8th in the showdown in one of the gnarliest races of the year. It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. And obviously tonight my riding was really good. It was just execution."
During qualifying and heats, it had been reported that Haiden was a bit mouthy and making jabs about Juju not being able to do well in ruts and tough weather-related track conditions, carefully transitioning into the hot topic of the feud and the action that happened on the track between the two. Prior to words being exchanged, the journalist asked some more questions, highlighting the moment everyone was talking about.
We've seen you and Haiden Deegan go back and forth a lot this year, but I think that was the hardest he's ever hit you. It looked like he really drilled you. What's happening?
Yeah, there was a little animosity there. He was DMing me after I posted his arrest on my story. It's kind of been a whole thing for like the last week and a half, so I kind of knew it was coming if he was close to me. It's not something that surprised me. I left the door open and that was really it. I left the door open and he took a shot. I'm not too worried about it.
I didn't see your story, but I'd imagine it was probably the same shot that's been all over the internet for the last week.
Yeah, he said something about the address. His address was obviously in the photo, but I said I wasn't the only one who posted it. It was in a number of places, the same thing. I thought it was funny. Maybe don't get arrested.
When saying how heated it looked afterwards, his response was pretty much saying, nothing I can really say about what was said. What was said, just basically don't post my address. 1, it's public record, anyone can go look at it, and 2, I wasn't the only one who posted it, but whatever, I knew it was coming. And when asked, is it true that you got fined? He said they both got fined, and when asked specifically what it was for, code of conduct violation, grabbing the helmets. It was the touching of the helmets, he had said in quotes. In closing, the conversation concluded with Julien expressing his plan to go right back into training hard and return to the track, swinging even better than last. In another interview after the race, Julien goes into more details, spilling the tea that this was actually brewing way before they arrived in Seattle.
So were you aware that there was maybe tension simmering, or did his pass in the main catch you off guard a little bit?
No, he's been DMing me for like 2 weeks.
What are we saying in the DMs?
He texted me the other day. He deleted it now. I got a screenshot of it though. He texted me. He said, "Good morning, legend." I hope you practiced in the ruts.
That's less friendly. I started nice.
And I didn't respond, and then he deleted it. So, yeah, it was pretty funny, but...
Well, that's a power move to not respond.
Yeah, it just, whatever. But, no, it was funny, and then he was chirping on track walk today, and, yeah, I there was already, like, it had already been an ongoing thing after I posted the story, and... I knew at some point if he was near me, he was coming for me, so my story wasn't bad. Yeah, his address was in it, but I wasn't the only one who posted it, so like... Yeah, and
your screenshot was so small, you couldn't actually read it.
If you had to screenshot it to zoom in to read his address, so it wasn't like a crazy thing, but yeah, I did get a call saying, hey, you should probably take this down, so I ended up taking it down, but other than that, I mean, obviously, it was pretty funny. Then actually, if you guys ever paid attention to the next story, it was like a story and we were cycling, and on the bar it was his mugshot, so it stayed on there the whole time, but no one ever really noticed it too much.
So I need to do a better job of paying attention to
maybe a little bit on. Yeah,
okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah, and then I posted me and Jorge at the beach later, and I was tempted to put it in the corner, but nah, it's fine. We've been told to squash the beef, so
well,
yeah.
You guys, all year, like you say, this is what it's about. So are we still having a good time, or is this crossing the line into legitimate beef?
No, I think it got personal after I posted that story. It got real personal. Yeah, I think he took that one to heart, and it became a little bit more than I think it should have been, but whatever. We won't grab each other's helmets next time. I don't like the fine I'm getting, so...
And what was said after the race in that exchange? He started it, right? Or who came up first?
He came up and he said something about like I had that coming or whatever, and not to post his address. That's his family, and I said I can't use the language I used, but
aggressive. Or?
Yeah, I basically said like, I mean, I wasn't the only one who posted the address. It wasn't public information. It's not like you couldn't go on the internet and look it up. So, yeah, whatever. It was funny.
And yeah, like you say, you both got fined. You're not allowed to grab his helmet. He's not allowed to slap you. And we're moving on. That's where we're at.
We were told no beef coming into Philly. So.
Thank you so much for joining me today discussing this hot topic and what has sparked quite the controversy and debate in the sport. We will be going into more depth and talks about these two in our next podcast episode of Let's Get Gritty, where I discuss all the latest on the sport, the riders, and Nitty Gritty Garage, and I go over the previous race highlights. Nitty and I will tell you who we think is in the wrong, who is the better rider, and so much more, so stay tuned. See you there. I'm Leenda, and that's For the Record, Your Honor.